back to Shredded Samurai on YouTube. See if I can't optimize this lighting for handsomeness. But I actually had someone come up to me in the gym the other day. I was talking about some techniques with my friend after a workout. And he asked me, he's like, oh, do you guys do martial arts? You guys into fighting and all that stuff? And he was asking me, what is the first thing you do? How do you get started in fighting? He was like, I can't defend myself at all. I don't feel comfortable at all. I'm getting into lifting, but I still don't feel like I can defend myself. Before I give you the long-winded answer, like I usually would, about how it's not about what you do and more about who you are and having the warrior spirit, I'm actually going to share something practical with you today. The first thing I ever did to learn martial arts, this was the exact first thing I did. Went down in the basement and I performed this activity, which is shadowboxing. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a clip today of me doing some shadowboxing today. Start out very, very slow, do some voiceover top of it, explain to you what your mentality should be as you're performing this exercise. But before we get into that, I'm an author now. It hasn't fully settled on me, but I wrote my own book. So it's called The Samurai Code. It's a 28-day daily inspirational book. It's on ShreddedSamurai.com. I gained a lot of value just from writing the book. So I'm hoping that by you reading it, it may have a benefit to your life as well. That is certainly the intention. So I'm going to give away 5 of these books for free. A discount code in the description below. And now we'll get into the shadowboxing. I'll see you on the next one. So as you can see, getting warmed up in those beaten and bloodied Shredded Samurai shorts that you can get on ShreddedSamurai.com. So it's important to stay loose before you get started. If this is the first time you've ever done this before, start out fairly stationary. Just throw your basic punches. So you'll start seeing me throw just jab, cross, and then get into my kicks a little bit. So the rear leg round kick and the front leg front kick would be the first 2 kicks I'd recommend you learning. They're fairly easy to learn, and they're very, very important as you develop your complete striking game. So as you can see, I like to move my feet a little bit. I really want to stay bouncy. Being bouncy is super important for MMA or kickboxing. If I was only training for Muay Thai, I might be more stationary, but because I look at kickboxing and MMA quite a bit, you'll see me move a little bit more often than maybe you need to right at the beginning. So as you can see, I'm trying to visualize an opponent in my head in front of me. So what I'm doing is basically fighting an imaginary opponent. And it may sound silly, but it's actually very, very effective for building up your technique, for building up your footwork. And I really enjoy shadowboxing because you get to explore techniques that you maybe could not do in sparring because they're too dangerous. And you'll see me get into some more techniques that are a little bit harder to control against an opponent, which means it'd be more likely to injure your sparring partner. So this is a good opportunity for you to work in those techniques that the creative part of you wants to give a try. So you'll also see me working on my defense. I'm doing little defensive maneuvers here because I want to imagine that opponent to be as realistic as possible. I want them to be throwing strikes back at me having to avoid them pressing me pressing them. The more you can emulate a real fight, the better off you're going to be with this practice. So find a fighter you really enjoy and try and emulate their technique in your shadowboxing. Before you can be that fighter, you're going to have to emulate that fighter because that's just the process of growing. You need to align yourself with what you want to be. So as you can see, breaking out some spinning back fists, as I alluded to, there are things in shadowboxing you can work on because you're not fighting a real person that you can't work on in the gym. So shadowboxing, do not neglect it. It's super important for building up that foundation of technique, for establishing your footwork, and ultimately getting you a good cardiovascular workout in as well. So I think I've just got a few more seconds here, finish up with a high kick, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you want premium performance wear like this tank top right here, go to ShreddedSamurai.com. Additionally, you can learn to fight completely online from your living room. Yet again, ShreddedSamurai.com. We're also on TikTok. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.